Welcome back to Minnesota Stacking. Video today is on the new releases of the Peace Dollar and the Philadelphia Morgan Dollar. This time seems to have gone more smoothly. I was able to secure two of each of the Peace Dollar and the Philadelphia Mint Morgan dollars with relatively few hiccups. I was fairly impressed with the US Mint this time. When they did the first releases, the Carson City and the New Orleans mint marks, to say that was an absolute cluster would be kind to the mint. I had heard from tons of people that they were either unable to complete their orders or they had their orders in their cart, and as soon as they went to check out, they would disappear, and denial of service screens, things of that made it really not a pleasant experience to deal with. And so what the Mint did was they actually pushed back the releases of subsequent coins to try and address the issue. And while I didn't get in on the two Morgan dollars that were offered before this one, I wanted to try and get both of these because they are minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which I am originally from Philadelphia, so for me it was important to get the Philadelphia issue of both the Morgan and the Peace dollars. Like I said, the process this time was relatively painless, and that may be due to some of the restrictions that the Mint put in place on bot traffic and also the household limit. Household limit this time around was only 3, whereas with the first issues, the Carson City and the New Orleans Mint, the household limit on those were 10. And while I'm a firm believer in capitalism, I do feel like that people should be able to buy as many as possible, to make a dollar or two off them. These are limited edition, limited mintings, and the potential is there for somebody to make quite a bit of money on these mintings. So with that being said, this time around was more smooth. I believe I only had to refresh either 2 or 3 times on the Peace Dollar, and the Philadelphia Morgans, that actually went through on the very first go round. I was able to complete my order, and it was just me kind of stressing out on the Peace Dollars after that, which I kind of figured demand on the Peace Dollar would be a little greater simply because the Philadelphia Peace Dollar is the only one being offered. So I knew that people would be focusing more on that, but with that being said, I only had to refresh 2 or 3 times to complete my transaction. With the Morgan, I did have to do the "I am not a bot" screen, where all you had to do was press and hold on the button on screen for I think 2 or 3 seconds for them to realize that you were not a bot trying to place shadow orders. So experiences this time much smoother. I think they did address the bots because the folks that I have talked to have all said the same thing, that yes, they may have had the, prove that you're a human screen, but once they were able to get past that, they were able to complete their transactions fairly quickly and fairly smoothly. So, why I would like to rail against the mint for the limited edition mintings and the household limits, I have to give credit to them, because this time around it did seem like it was a easier process to get through. And by extension, that means that more people were able to purchase these coins, with the household limit only being 3 instead of 10. That being said, it was, I kind of buy these coins to make money. I normally keep 1 or 2 for my collection, and I liquidate the rest. So for somebody in my position, it's kind of a bummer that we didn't have a higher household limit. But in the interest of numismatics and collectability, I do see the pluses in having a lower mint per household. So kudos to the U.S. Mint for working through some of these problems. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they come out with the double reverse proofs in just a couple weeks here. How that's going to go. That's going to be another one that is highly in demand, and it looks like that one is going to be a little more high demand and higher, highly sought after by collectors. So we'll see how things go. I'm reserving judgment at this time until I see a couple more examples of the mint actually being able to process orders and process them in a way that is, less headache and less blood pressure raising than previous releases have been. So all in all, good experience. Can't wait to get the new coins. They ship in October, so I am patiently waiting for my Carson City Morgan dollars, and also my Philadelphia Morgan dollars and the Peace dollars to get here. So when we get those, we'll bring them to you and give you a look at some of the ones that I was able to get from the mint. So I hope you found this video informational. To me, these are things that, if you're a new stacker or if you're a new collector, trying to deal with the mint and trying to get your purchases through can be extremely frustrating. And I really feel like sometimes that turns people off on collecting, and makes them feel like that they just don't have a way to get involved without paying the huge premiums that you pay on eBay for these limited releases. So, and anytime we can involve more people in the coin collecting and the silver stacking hobby, I really feel like that's beneficial to everybody involved. So, if you found this video informational or interesting, give us a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. I still try to interact with everybody that comments on my videos. Had some good comments on the last video, and was really interested in some other perspective on silver stacking. So, for Minnesota Stacking, I would just like to say thank you and have a good evening.